Okay, so one of the training modules we want to talk to you about is objections. Now, a lot of people are, I actually look forward to objections. I don't know why. It allows me to think. It allows me to have confidence in what I do. But here's a big thing that I've learned by many of my mentors. If you've got a problem with something, then it's going to come across the way you present. If you've got a problem, let's say pricing, for instance, it's awfully expensive, isn't it? Well, if you believe that, it will come across to your presentation and you will struggle. Now, one of my mentors that I'd followed and he had a great thing, and this is how I understand it in the words that I've got, and I hope it makes sense to you. When somebody says to you, boy, that's expensive, people aren't going to buy because your product is too expensive. I use the analogy, it's my favorite one, it's the cars. In fact, Daryl and I were driving around yesterday and we're talking about this price objection. And if people bought on price only, then they would buy the cheapest car that there is. And back then it was I can't remember, it was some small, really inexpensive car. So we started driving around and we said, okay, if this principle is true, we would see nothing but a whole bunch of these cars or similar. And as we're driving around, what do we see? SUVs, we see BMWs, we see Volkswagens, we see nice cars. And then every once in a while, you'll see a real El Cheapo. And that all of a sudden started, wait a minute, did people buy their cars because it was cheap? Price was the issue? No, they bought because they wanted that particular color. They wanted that brand. They wanted an engine that was stronger. They wanted four-wheel drive. They wanted air conditioning. They wanted air-conditioned seats. It just depends on what you want. So people don't buy always on price. But if you've got that issue, get over it. Find out why. In nutritional, people say things like, oh man, who's going to pay for that? And in fact, one of the companies that we are very passionate about, to get a month's supply of all the vitamins, nutrients in this one bottle, a month's supply, if we were to go down to the nutritional store and you wanted to go off and buy a month's supply of everything that's in that, you're going to spend $500 versus whatever that product costs for the same amount. So if price is an issue, you need to get over it because you might be in the wrong industry if that's the case. Here's another objection. Some people are saying, it's not one of those illegal pyramid things, is it? And I would actually answer this and say, man, I wish. We make a lot more money. But that's not the case. An illegal pyramid is basically a money game with no product. So as long as you're in a company that's got a great product, it's got validity, it's got scientific, if it's got all those things that you need, you're okay. Now, when they asked me, it's one of those get-rich-quick schemes. Here's how I answer that. So you can answer it however you want. The statistic back when we started doing Building Show Me the Money back in Australia was that it took the average person in 45 years, I think it was 45 years, Daryl, they made $1.2 million in that 45 years. Well, I got involved with my company and I was able to make that 1.2 million in just a few years, not 45. So did I get rich quick according to what the rest of the world looks at it? If you look at a 45-year plan at $1.2 million, I guess I did. I got rich quick. So is it a get rich quick scheme? It's not a scheme, but you can get rich quick. So however you feel about that, again, is how you can look at it. Now, one of my favorite ways is expanding pyramids, it's one of those illegal pyramid things. I don't think anyone's explained it any better than one of my mentors and very good friend, Mr. Jack Zufelt.
As a master of network marketing, I get asked lots of questions, but there's one area that I get asked a lot about, and it still surprises me because there's so many people that seem to have the wrong paradigm about this industry called network marketing. They have a limiting paradigm or a wrong paradigm based on some of their experiences. So I want to set the record straight. Let me first of all tell you this. The Wall Street Journal actually had this, and this is a quote right out of it, says, "Visions of wealth and independence lead professionals to network marketing," unquote. Now, why would they say that? And why would professionals be going to network marketing? There must be something to it. I've been involved in business, all kinds of businesses my whole life. In fact, I probably put about $20 to $22 million into all kinds of businesses. Real estate, coal mines, gold mines in South America. I owned 14 franchises. At one time, I owned all of Florida and most of California as a franchisee for a large company called Airborne Express. I understand business. And I put no less than $500,000 into all of them. In fact, if you want to look up Cinemaware on the computer, just Google Cinemaware. Those are computer games. I financed some of the most popular computer games in history when the computer games were just starting out. Cost me at least $150,000 to $200,000 per game. And I made more cash flow, more net cash flow in network marketing than all of those businesses combined. So anybody that tells me that network marketing doesn't work, all I say back to them is, you speak from ignorance. That is just not the truth. Network marketing doesn't work for some people because they don't do it right, or the company goes out of business. But if the company stays in business, has a decent product and a good compensation plan, there's no way you can fail unless you do it wrong. And if you did not make it work, you did it wrong. There's a bunch of questions I get asked, and one of them is, it's more of a statement. The guy says to me one time, a lot of people say this, not just one, but he said, Jack, I've been involved in 5 network marketing companies. I never made any money in any of them. My question to him was, are any of those companies still alive? Yes. Was anybody making any money with that company? Oh, yeah. 2 of the companies went out of business, though. Oh, well, I'm really sorry that happened. That happens in all businesses, guys. It happens in real estate. It happens in every industry. Some companies come and go. Welcome to the world of business. Happens in network marketing, too. But 3 of those companies still alive and going well? Yes. And did you know there were people making money? Oh, yeah, some are making big money, but not me. I said, well, then you did it wrong. You see, it boils down to this. You did it wrong. Well, I can't find people to talk to. Well, then learn. See, it's like trying to tell me when I owned a franchise, I can't find clients or customers. Then learn. I had to learn it. You can learn it. It's not that hard, guys. And one of the other questions I get is this one of them their pyramid schemes, you know, where they try to get a lot of people in? You know what my answer is? I always speak the truth. Because my main mentor said if you know the truth, it'll set you free. And it's my job to help this world, as I see it anyway, to help this world become free from ignorance and free from wrong paradigms and free from fear and free from lack of confidence, which is why I wrote my book and do seminars all over the world. And so ignorance keeps people stuck in this industry. It's one of the most profitable industries that exists in America, in the world. Let me give you an example of how big of an industry it is. Are you aware that it's a $30 billion a year business? That's not small, ladies and gentlemen, that's huge. Are you aware right now, and this blows me away, by the way, that was 30 billion in the US, 100 billion worldwide. Now look at these statistics. 55 million people are participating right now in network marketing or direct sales, and network marketing is a piece of that, worldwide, 55 million. A large portion of that is network marketing. Here's the one that blew me away. Worldwide, 300,000 people are joining direct selling organizations every single week, someplace in the world. Every week. Oh, there must be something good about network marketing, and there are. Lots of good things. First of all, it doesn't cost very much. Let's assume you have a decent company, a decent product, and a good comp plan. Let's assume all those pieces are there. It doesn't cost a lot of money to do network marketing. It costs a lot of money to do all those other kind of businesses. I know because I did them, and I spent $30,000, $50,000 just for the location a year. The cost and overhead of those other businesses is huge. Where else can you put a few $100s out of your pocket and create a few $100s a month or a few $100s a week or even a few $100s a day income? It doesn't exist anyplace else. If it did, I'd be doing it and I'd be recommending it to the world. But I can't find anything that's better than network marketing for mass America. And when I say mass America, I mean those people that are not making a lot of money or that don't have the freedom. That's most of America, including executives. Some of those executives out there are making $200,000 or $300,000 a year, but they don't have a life. I know because they've come to my weekend retreats, and they're telling me that they need help trying to figure out how to get their lives in order. It's not about money. Some of them are multimillionaires. They got plenty of money. They can buy anything, but they're the hub of the wheel. And if that hub goes away, the wheel collapses. That needs to change for them. So I teach them about network marketing, and they go, that's working smart. And I say, yeah, you guys have heard this concept, work smarter, not harder. That's exactly what we do in network marketing. And it's not a new concept. There's only 2 ways, ladies and gentlemen, to make a lot of money and work smarter, not harder. Only 2. If you want to make a lot of money, well, very simply, let's put it this way. You got to find a need and fill it. Let's assume you find a need and fill it. Well, then you got to provide a product or service that does that. Let's assume you have a product and or a service that does that. Now, there's only two ways to make a lot of money with that product or service. Only two. If you're not going to inherit it or win it in a lottery, you got to pick one of these two. If you want to make a lot of money. Money working for you, that's investments, and I went that route. That's not the best way to go, I can promise you. Very risky, and you can think you're going to get filthy rich and end up with just the filthy. I know, because I did that a couple of times. Things that I put my money into went away. I ran into a guy named Murphy, and he took away all of my deal, and I lost my shirt. Well, notice I have another shirt. So there's only two ways to make a lot of money. Money working for you, and most people don't have that. And I'm not talking $10,000 or $20,000. If you want to live off money working for you, you got to have $1 million in the bank. If you don't have that, you cannot choose this option. That leaves only one option, people working for you. This is not a new concept either, people working for you. Let me give you an example. Real estate agency. A real estate broker has an agent, and that agent goes out and sells a property, and he gets 6% commission. He has to share that commission with the broker. Happens all over the world. Singapore, Canada, Australia, here, happens everywhere. So here's the broker, doing nothing, guy's out there selling a property, makes $10,000 commission, the broker gets half of it, up to half, sometimes 30, 40, 50%. Well, if he only has one agent working for him, that broker's still got to continue to sell a lot of property himself. He can't live off of one agent. What if he had 100 agents, like some of the biggest real estate brokerages in the world, like Century 21, like RE/MAX, these big firms? They have hundreds, no, thousands of agents out there. So what if a broker has 100 agents, and all 100 agents are part-timers, and they only make 3 sales a year? They can't even live on that. Usually they make $6,000 to $10,000 commission. They might eke out a living. But if you got 100 of them doing that, and you get 30 to 50% of their commission, that broker will make far more money off of the effort of those 100 people than he ever will off his own sales. That's why they do brokerages. By the way, that's the same thing that happens in insurance too. That's the same thing that happens in the brokerage, stock brokerage community. Lots of people out there selling something, and several people above them get paid. If you were to draw that out, it looks like a triangle, also known as a pyramid. All businesses look like that, except a mom and a pop organization where there's just 2 people or 1 person. But if that person starts bringing on people like we do in network marketing, starts building an organization, it will always look like a corporation does, always. If an insurance agent sells $1 million policy, he gets 100, 200, 300% commission. That's fantastic. Sometimes he'll make $10,000 more. Well, how many people above him get paid? I've estimated, because I've trained in that industry, that it's no less than 4 or more like 7 or 8 levels of people that get paid above him for his sales, and they all thank him very much. That's what it looks like with network marketing, ladies and gentlemen, except for this. Nowhere near the overhead. In fact, no overhead. Well, maybe a little bit. You got time and energy, and you probably have to buy some product every month to qualify for your checks. Welcome to the world of business. Another one of the questions I get is, only the people at the top make the money. That's an outright lie. Whoever told you that lied to you. Get in now so you're the first one in or the first few in so you can make a ton of money. That's true, you can make a ton of money. But not because you got in first, but because you built an organization. Here's my true story. I got involved with a company. I was 4.5 years into the company. I mean, the company was that old before I even started with them. Signed on a dotted line just like everybody else. Put up my money and started building an organization. And about 8 years later, I was their top distributor. I became #1 distributor for that company. And I was making $80,000 a month. And I started 4.5 years later. That seemed to fly in the face of, hey, you have to get in first or you won't make a lot of money. That's a lie. As long as the company stays in business and they have a good product and continue to send the checks, all you got to do is build your downline. Oh, and another thing, it's not your upline that makes you successful. It's your downline. So you need to learn how to build an organization. The upline only has 2 things it's supposed to do: find you and shorten your learning curve, teach you what they know. After that, it's up to you, and that's where we come in. With the Show Me the Money program, we can teach anybody how to do this business properly. And oh, by the way, there's another quote that I got to tell you about that makes me sold, absolutely sold, on the upside to network marketing. This is from a world-famous economist named Paul Zane Pilzer. Listen to what he says about what you and I can expect in this industry in the next 10 years. He says 10 million new millionaires will be created from 2006 to 2016. And half of them will come from the direct selling industry. 5 million people from our industry. Now you wonder why I think network marketing is a winner? It's crazy to think otherwise. Now, you can tell me you don't want to do it. I can't argue with that. But don't tell me it doesn't work. Don't tell me it can't be done. If the company stays in business, has a great product and a good comp plan, and you learn to build a downline, there's no way you can fail to benefit from the huge upside, meaning cash flow, from network marketing.